In today's gaming news, StarCraft 2's Heart of the Swarm expansion gets a release date, we get 20 minutes of Hitman Absolution gameplay, Ubisoft expresses interest in THQ assets, and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 has arrived. What are your impressions so far? Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. It is Tuesday, November the 13th, and my name is Force, here with today's gaming news. First up today, the release date for StarCraft 2's Heart of the Swarm expansion has been announced. I'm super excited. How about you? Following up 2010's Wings of Liberty, Heart of the Swarm focuses its campaign on Kerrigan and the Zerg Swarm. In addition to the new campaign, a handful of new units are being added to the game's competitive multiplayer, which will make for some fresh and exciting tactics in professional play. Heart of the Swarm launches on March 12th with a base price of $39.99, although a digital deluxe and collector's edition will also be available for $59.99 and $79.99 respectively. This is of course very exciting news for any fans of StarCraft 2, myself in particular, and very much so looking forward to the expansion. I think the biggest thing is with the new units, we're going to see some pretty exciting gameplay on the professional level, and I'm looking forward to commentating those games. Some of you may immediately respond with, Force, the game's been in the beta for a while, why aren't you commentating those games? Well, the beta is a little weird. Lots of units get changed all the time, and also, there's not a lot of Heart of the Swarm replays available, so for those reasons, I've been sticking to Wings of Liberty, but Heart of the Swarm content is coming in the future, and early next year, we'll see the full release of the game. Next up in news, we've got 20 minutes of gameplay from Hitman Absolution. Today, Joystick posted a 20-minute gameplay video of the upcoming stealth action game Hitman Absolution. The footage shown is played on the purest difficulty, which provides the game's hardest challenge by removing several helpful features available in normal modes. Hitman Absolution launches next week on November 20th. Moving on, Ubisoft has expressed interest in potentially purchasing assets from THQ. Speaking with Games Industry International, Ubisoft's boss said that THQ has good brands and his company is always looking for good brands. While he didn't go much into detail, he did say acquiring THQ assets is something Ubisoft can consider, and given THQ's recent struggles, selling off a few IPs to Ubisoft may be too appealing to pass up. As I'm sure you know, THQ has been going through some pretty rough times, especially after its relatively unsuccessful launch of Darksiders 2. They've talked about all sorts of avenues just to keep their company afloat, and I think the potential of selling off some of their assets or some of their brands to Ubisoft is probably a good idea. They've already got rid of a few of their wrestling IPs, and for that reason I fully expect something like this with Ubisoft to go through. And last up in news today, Black Ops 2, which is probably one of this year's biggest releases, has officially gone live. What may very well be this year's biggest game, Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is now available and ready for the masses. Black Ops 2 moves the series storyline from the near past to the near future in a campaign set both in the 1980s and 2025 respectively. The Call of Duty multiplayer has seen some adjustments in this latest installment, although the general principle of running a treadmill to unlock equipment still applies. And lastly, the game also adds a separate zombie mode in addition to the campaign and multiplayer, where you and your friends can fight back the undead horde. So now that Black Ops 2 is officially here, I'd like to know what you guys think of the game so far. I know many of you have probably only had a few hours to play, but I just want to get your general impressions. I've ripped on Call of Duty before for releasing more or less the same content year after year, but I'm going to give Black Ops 2 a try just to give you my real thoughts after playing the game. Because the truth is, I haven't played a Call of Duty game in about 3 years. Now I just did a first 40 video taking a look at 40 minutes of gameplay in the Black Ops 2 campaign, and that should be released shortly after this video, so keep an eye out for that. I'll be giving you my initial thoughts, and to tell you the truth, I guess it's really not that bad. But once again, let me know what you guys think so far of the game in the comment section below. Alright ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, this has been Force, and you've just been force-fed. I really can't rip on Call of Duty for re-releasing more or less the same content year after year, because day after day, I pretty much re-release more or less the same content. I don't really change much about my shows or most of my videos, so I guess there's something to that. I mean, you guys still watch this, right? You're still here, aren't you? Hello?